If the last year in real estate hasn't quite gone as planned, or maybe you found yourself in a bit of a rut for the last couple of months, I need you to do two quick things. Number one, understand that if nothing changes, you're going to be in the exact same place in the next 12 months from now that you are right now, which is not what I want to do. So the second thing you need to do is to sit tight, take a step back, take a deep breath, and watch this video to the end and listen to the 5 steps that I'm going to share with you. This exercise will be the catalyst to completely exploding your business in the next 12 months. But if you skip this video, I can almost guarantee that you're going to be where you are right now in 12 months from now, which is not what I want to happen. So let's dive into how to completely change the trajectory of your business by going through these 5 simple steps. What's up, guys? If you don't know who I am, my name is Mike Sherrod. I train thousands of agents every year to scale their business the modern way, and I want to see you win. So I'm not here to sell anything to you. I just want to see you crush it in real estate, and I really want you to build your business to the point that you got into real estate to achieve. Because everybody gets into real estate with excitement, passion. They want to change their lives. They want to change their families' lives, and I see so many people that are not where they want to be, especially this year with the market shift, and knowing that the market is shifting, likely next year is not going to get any easier. So without further ado, let's dive into the 5 things you need to do if you want to completely change your business and become a top producer in the next 12 months. Now, the first thing I'm going to dive into is pretty basic here, but the next 4 are going to be incredibly important. So just sit tight with me as we go through this, because I'm going to make it as clear and simple as possible. Number 1, do not give up, but you need to understand that things need to change. It's a really important concept to understand what got you here will not get you there. And this is one thing that I commonly see with agents is they come to the end of a year, they get all excited about going into the new year, but then they just keep doing the same thing that they did in the last year. And what happens is nothing's changing, so they end up getting the same result. And even if they're putting in more time into their business, it does not mean that it's going to yield more deals and more commission. So I want you to understand that we need to do things differently, and that's what the rest of these exercises is going to be, because it's not that you're not capable of becoming a top producer, becoming a strong agent, or breaking into luxury. It's usually coming down to not doing the right activities, or not doing the activities properly, or looking at mindset as well as time management. So we're going to break all of those down. But the first thing is just don't give up, because you can do it. I've seen a ton of agents go from doing literally 0 deals to going and doing 75 deals in the next 12 months. There's agents in my organization at EXP that have done that with my help on video. But now let's get into the details that are really going to help you go forward. So number 2, but number 1 in a sense of the tactical that you need to do, is go back and audit everything. And I mean everything. You need to understand the concept that what gets measured gets managed. And this is why so many agents fail to increase their business every year, because they have no clue where business is actually coming from. I've done this audit with certain agents where I went and sat down with them, and they did about 24 deals in a year. And I asked them where the majority of their clients were coming from, and they had no clue. Now, here was the really eye-opening part for this agent. But we sat down and dove into all of the different things that they were doing, all of the different lead generation initiatives, where they were spending their money, where they were spending their time, marketing, all of this. We started to realize that they were doing about 8 different things, but one of them was yielding 75% of their clients, and they were spending equal amount of time on all of those 8 things. So when we started to break it down, we realized, hey, we could probably get rid of about 5 of these, do much better at the one that is yielding the best results, and start to double down a bit on the 2 that are starting to build momentum. And their business went from 24 to 50 deals in the next 12 months. But you really need to understand where your clients coming from. Are they coming primarily from Facebook ads? Are they coming primarily from Google ads or referrals, repeat? Because what that's going to do is show you where your bread and butter is and what you need to be doubling down on. Because the mistake that a lot of agents make is they feel like they need to go wider. They feel like they need to do more things, more platforms, more marketing initiatives. But that's not the case. What you'll realize is you have to go deeper, right? If you look at my business, for example, I do about multiple 7 figures every single year, and my one primary platform is YouTube. Right? So I double down on YouTube. I try and improve on YouTube every single year, because that brings me about 85% of my business, and the rest is organic content on other platforms paired with advertising. But knowing that this is the one that is bringing me the most, I need to go deeper. I need to get better at it, because I can tell you for certainty, if there's one thing that is bringing you the majority of your clients, you're probably not the best at your market at that one activity. So if you can go deeper and master it, whether it be you're getting referrals referrals. Okay, how can you get better at nurturing your database to get more repeat and referral clients? Oh, you're doing really well with a certain advertising platform. What can we do to convert at a higher rate with a lower cost per lead? Because what you'll see is the agents that are absolutely crushing it are masters at one specific thing. And of course, they've got other things that complement that, and they're not just doing one thing, but there's always one bread and butter, and we need to identify that. Now, the second aspect of that is looking at not just what you're doing, but how are you doing it? Because one thing I commonly see is people maybe cold calling, for example, and what they're doing is some coach tells them, Mike, you need to go make 300 phone calls today, and every day you need to do your 300 phone calls. Well, let me break down the reality of that. The reason why I crushed it with prospecting in the beginning with door knocking, same aspect here, is I didn't go to say, I want to go door knock 100 doors. I went in with the mentality that I do not want to leave a doorstep until I've exhausted every single humanly possible avenue to get client information. And I've got a video actually of exactly what I said to completely skyrocket my conversion rate. It's a ninja trick, so drop a comment below if you want to see that video. But it's about how you do it, not just about what you do. Because again, this is why you see people at the gym that have been going to the gym for like 2 freaking years and they look the exact same as they did 2 years ago. Whereas you see some people that go to the gym and they're going to the point of failure every single day. Well, in 6 months, they look like a completely different person, almost unrecognizable, because it's not just that you're going to the gym, it's how you're showing up at the gym, right? The exact same thing happens with prospecting, for example. If you go in just to get the calls and somebody gives you one objection, okay, on to the next one, of course, you're not going to convert very high. Similar with videos. If you are putting out videos just to put out content, but you're not actually thinking strategically and studying and watching other people's content, of course, you're not going to get very good results. So you need to show up and you need to look at not just the activities that you're doing or not doing, but how intentional are you at that activity. The next thing you need to audit is your time. And this is a really important one. One of the ones I see being the biggest obstacle for most agents is time management, being busy versus being productive. There's a lot of agents that are busy, right? They're filling 12, 14-hour days. But why is the needle on their business not moving every single day? And the reason being is because they're being busy, but they're not being productive. There's a significant difference between this because people are just filling their days just to say that they worked all day, but they're not focusing on income producing activities. What I do personally is I write down, I use the power list every day. I write down the night before the 5 income producing activities that I need to get done that will move the needle of my business. If you do that for 100 days straight, your business will completely change. And this is not doing laundry, going groceries, cleaning. This is 3 hours of prospecting, recording a month's worth of videos, doing an hour of follow-up, and all of these activities that will make sure your business moves. But a lot of people are filling their day with low income producing activities like freaking designing thumbnails on Canva to the point where they're doing below minimum wage activities, which is why they're not where they want to be in their business. And the last thing you need to audit is who are you surrounding yourself with? And this is an incredibly important one because rising tides lifts all ships. If you're in a brokerage right now, if you're in a team and you're surrounded by people that are all not putting out content, that are all not trying to build massive businesses, that are all not supporting you and giving you the best training tools and resources, then you're a product of your environment. And I see a lot of agents that, again, join a group like ours at the Wolf Pack and completely change the trajectory of not just their business, but their lives and their health and their relationships because we focus on all of that. But that's also because we're a family-like group that all help each other, not like you see at a traditional brokerage where the top agents aren't sharing any of their best information because they're creating competition within the same brokerage. So you need to audit who are you surrounding yourself with, and are those people actually giving you the support you need to take your business from where it is to where you want to go. Step number 3, you need to create a new business plan. Now, I've got a full video on how to create a business plan using short-term, mid-term, long-term, lifetime, and afterlife goals. Drop a comment if you want it, just say business plan and I'll send it to you because it's very intentional and you really need to break down different types of goals and then reverse engineer that. So let me briefly explain how I approach it. Once I do all of the audits, I say, okay, here is where my time is being lost. For most people, it is on this device right here. They are wasting time by checking notifications. My phone is on do not disturb 24/7. You will not get a call through to me. You will not get a notification on Instagram, DMs, Facebook Messenger, text messages. I get nothing. All day, every day, you can see here, right? So no notifications, and stop being distracted, right? Don't be scrolling. Use social media as a tool, not a toy, right? Be a creator. Stop being just a consumer. It is important to consume, but very intentionally to develop your skill sets, but not just for entertainment. But you need to reverse engineer your goals. So once we identify what is working and what is not, and what is missing, right? Because most people are missing video. Most people are not nurturing their sphere. Most people don't use a CRM. Most people are not having systems and processes for follow-up. So once we identify what we need to do, now we need to build it into a plan, right? So the way that I approach business plans is I create what I refer to as the midterm goal, which is a 1-year goal. Then I break that down and we operate on a quarterly year, right? So a 12-week year is how we all operate, because the worst thing people do is they start January 1st with this excitement, this passion, they're energetic, they're pumped for the new year. And then by March, they realize they just screwed off for 2 months, and they basically wait till next January to reinvent themselves to get that excitement back. You need to be able to operate on a 12-week year to have 4 Januaries every single year. And what that's going to do is say, hey, Q2 didn't go that well. Q3, let's get back at it. Let's hop back on the saddle, get back to a business plan, take a step back, take a deep breath, slow down for a second, and go in with momentum. But it's important to be able to then reverse engineer your quarterly goals into weekly and daily goals. We do have a full video on this as well. So again, if you want to see that in more depth, we can show you how to reverse engineer your goals. But it's important to have a plan in place, because by failing to plan, you're planning to fail. And all too many people do not have structure, which is why they're failing in their business. Number 4, you need to identify what your weaknesses are that are foundational for scaling. This is incredibly important because, again, a lot of people are trying to turn a blind eye to their weaknesses. They're saying, hey, I'm not good at video, so I'm gonna try and overcompensate it by doing this. Or, hey, I'm not wanting to use a CRM, so I'm gonna try and overcompensate with volume of leads. And what you'll see is that by ignoring these foundational pillar skills that you need in order to build a successful, scalable, predictable, thriving real estate business is you don't build one, right? I've never seen a top producing agent that does not properly leverage a sphere. I've also never seen a top producing agent that does not adapt to the current market trends of what they need to do in order to get in front of customers, like video, right? Like short form content, reels, TikTok, shorts, long form like YouTube. The ones that win are the ones that are most willing to adapt. It's not the ones with the biggest budget. It's not the ones with the most experience. It is the ones that are the most willing to adapt. So if you start to develop these new skills, this is what's going to allow you to always be moving the needle of your business and staying one step ahead of your competition. But you need to identify these, because if you're not getting in front of the camera, well, newsflash, video ain't going anywhere, and you need to be able to get in front of consumers the way they want to consume information. And right now, in this day and age, it is video. So you need to get outside of your head and get outside of these fears and limiting beliefs and self-sabotaging behaviors to say, hey, you know what? I screwed off the last few years, didn't use a CRM. I'm going to take 1 month. The next month, I'm going to master a CRM. Great. Do one thing at a time. Got your CRM in place? Okay, you know what? I really need to pick up this device, turn it around, hit record. Next month, I'm going to do that. I'm going to master this in 1 month, and I'm just going to do it repetitively. Well, great, do that. And if you do a new skill and give it undivided attention every single month, by the end of the next few months, you will have a proper foundation to build off of and scale off going forward with your business. And number 5 is commit to the process for at least 12 months. The number one thing I see agents do wrong is they come into the new year and they say, okay, I'm really excited about maybe YouTube or TikTok or whatever, but we'll stay with YouTube. I'm pumped for YouTube. They've gone through my 5-day video challenge. They're ready to crush it. They do YouTube for 3 months. They don't get a client and they get pissed. YouTube's not for me. I can't do well on video. So what do? They go to Instagram Reels. Okay, Reels aren't working out for me either after 3 months. They go to TikTok. and then another one, and then another one. And they're constantly trying to chase the new shiny penny. But what you have to understand is that if you commit to a process that's proven by many other people, whether it be cold calling, door knocking, your sphere, events, YouTube, whatever, as long as you commit to it consistently and are actively trying to improve for 12 months, your business will completely change. The ones that can create the longest time delay or have the longest time horizon for when they expect to see results from the input they're putting in are the ones that win. So for me, for example, when I got into real estate and I started leveraging YouTube, I said, hey, if you can't do it for a lifetime, I'm not going to do it for a day. I'm doing this thing for the rest of my career. I don't care how long it takes. I will become good at it and I will constantly improve. And now it's led me to this position. But I also know people that have done that with cold calling and door knocking and Facebook ads and Google ads and TikTok. So when we look at this, you need to commit to the process because people have proven it in every which way. It's just if you're not getting the results you're expecting from these activities, you're just not trying hard enough. You're not doing all that you can, right? Which is why a quote exists from one of my mentors, Ed Milet: everything comes from nothing. And what he means by that is that everything you've ever dreamed of comes when there's nothing left in the tank. When you've exhausted all effort, when you've given it your best, time in, time out, repetitively for years, that's when you'll have everything you want. But most people haven't even started trying. They've just dabbled with it. So after you get your business plan dialed in, after you identify what you need to improve on, what you need to introduce, what you need to cut out, you've got your business plan built out, you need to commit to this process and don't chase new shiny pennies. So follow your plan for the next 12 months. In 12 months from now, when your business has doubled or tripled or quadrupled, then yeah, go introduce new things, but do not introduce anything new aside from what's in your business plan for the next 12 months. Be consistent, be relentless, go all in, and stay committed to it because we've seen it work time and time again. And if you want to partner with me and get my direct one-on-one help for this, then you can book a meeting with me in the description below. But I want to see you win. I want to see you crush it. That's why I continue to put this out, and hopefully this helps. So go through these activities and we'll see you in the next video.